So you want to take this.
Welcome everybody. We're going to go into meditation first, and then we're going to talk about how soulmates are earned. They don't just happen. So, key in meditation is sit quietly, repeat the mantra, Yod, and then breath, Hey, and out breath, Wah, and then breath, Hey, and out breath. Yod from the base to the heart, Hey, out to the heart. Wah from the base to the third eye, Hey, out to the heart. And the final piece is the energy coming through to awaken or support the Kundalini energy. So we're going to go about 10 minutes. And here we go. Yo. And now go into meditation. Yod and in breath, Hey and out breath. Wah and in breath, Hey and out breath. And Yo. Slowly come out of meditation. So, soulmates are earned. They just don't show up in your life. They're earned as part of your spiritual evolutionary work. So a lot of people, they're looking for their soulmate. When's my soulmate going to show up? It's not really the right question. The question is, how do I keep working in myself so I evolve to a place where my soulmate will be drawn to me? Very different, very important to make that distinction. Now, there are different kinds of definitions. I'm going to talk a little bit Kabbalistically. First, it said soulmates are not the same age. They often come from distant countries and cultures as important. But and just the opposite, we have Abraham and Sarah, and Sarah was Abraham's niece. That's what some people think. In other words, they grew up together. So we have that, but the classic is different ages, different cultures, different worlds, and they come together. So how do they come together? When you've reached a certain spiritual understanding and growth, evolutionary within yourself, you will naturally draw the soulmate. That's key. So the key with soulmates is do your work, and the soulmate will be drawn to you as they're also doing their work. Another very interesting Kabbalistic teaching really came from Rabbi Nachman. Kabbalistic teaching says we can have more than one soulmate. That's pretty interesting. And in my book, Into the Nothing, I talk about soulmates, and I bring up that principle that yes, you can have more than one soulmate. So the people who come at different times, different meanings, it's a little bit of a mystery. Okay, we also have dharma mates. What's that? Well, you come together to have family. You come together to do a certain function in the world, and you're really meant to do that. Soulmates are at a different level. So first, as we develop spiritually, we develop, in a sense, clear, healthy boundaries, and then we become one in that merging. So you have to be healthy enough to be able to actually have a soulmate as part of the process. And committed enough to what I call sacred relationships to do the continual work that a soulmate relationship requires. So we don't want to fantasize we're soulmates and everything's just fine. It doesn't really work that way, because we really need to involve the principles of sacred relationship, creating the space for the other one to evolve. Because soulmates come together, not necessarily for a job, they can do that, but they come together to help each other evolve spiritually. And so there has to be, in the process of working and evolving with your soulmate, that has to be almost a precondition that people are committed to liberation, committed to spiritual evolution, committed to moving from self-realization to moksha, God merging, different levels. But the point I'm making is having a soulmate doesn't mean job's over. It means the next level of the job begins. That makes it more interesting to see. So it's an evolutionary relationship where you create the space for the other person to continue to wake up and evolve spiritually. And that's really the deeper commitment. So that's key. Now there's one other step beyond that, which is rarely talked about. I actually don't even talk about it in my book, Into the Nothing, is that we go back to the original Adam, who was a he Adam and a she Adam, before divided into male-female. So The next level is one soul, where the souls merge. That makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Oh my goodness, I'm not a unique individual separate from the whole. Yeah, that's right, you aren't. We are part of the one. And so when two people can come together and their souls merge, it's a next evolutionary step. It's a real oneness. And again, not too many people even consider that as a possibility. It's enough to be soulmates as separate entities coming together at different times, working at each other to support their liberation process and their post-liberation process. The next step, maybe someday I'll be writing about that. I'm very happy. I have a wonderful soulmate, Shanti. And here's our story. She was my yoga teacher, 1988. We didn't recognize each other as we evolved spiritually, and 5 years after I was divorced, we came together and we immediately recognized each other. So part of the soulmate energy is recognizing your soulmate, even though you may be working with your soulmate. In this case, it was 12 years before there was any recognition. So there's a lot of subtleties here. So we earn our soulmate. We have to get to the evolutionary point where we can recognize our soulmate, and also part of the soulmate contract is committed to the spiritual evolution. It's not about safety. It's not about comfort zone. That's not a spiritual evolutionary state. The word evolution, movement. It is committed to each other's liberation or post-liberation, moving into what I call moksha, God merging, different than self-realization. So it's a very exciting process. It's very, very profound. But the bottom line is the soulmate doesn't just show up. We have to work evolutionary with ourselves spiritually till we're ready actually to receive our soulmate, and then the soulmate arrives. May you be blessed with this understanding, and may everyone find their soulmate. May everyone be committed to the evolutionary work that it takes to have your soulmate show up and to recognize your soulmate. Peace be with you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om and Takiwasan. Aho.